Hello everyone, Xanaro Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video I am going to do a deck profile going over the color green, one of the decks that you can make in the color green for the new set coming out in the Union Arena trading card game, which is going to be Sword Art Online. Yes, we are getting a starter deck and a booster set for this card game. I've went over the blue cards coming out of the starter deck. If you're interested in that video, I will leave a link to the video down below or at the end of the video. But I want to go over green. And in this set, green is a really strong color that does a lot of things of like boosting your BP, giving yourself impact snipe, all kinds of cool things. And it goes over the second season of the show. Real quick though, don't forget that this weekend you should be able to attend pre-release events at your local game stores. I know that it says here on May the 2nd is the release date for the booster packs, but you should be able to get your hands a hold of at your local game store. So go to your local game stores and go get the product. Now, I am on exburst.dev here, and I have made you a cool deck profile template that you can do to, on day one build this deck and have something to go off of. Now, this deck is not perfect because we've not been able to test the cards, right? They're not out yet, but I have done a little research going over the set for you guys, and I do think that this is a decent list here. This will be revolving around Kirito and Sinon from the second season of the show, the gungaleonline, which is the GGO trait in the top right hand corner at the top that you can see there, Kirito GGO. The way I usually like to do this is I like to touch on your key raid cards in the deck and then go over everything else in the deck that kind of like rounds it out, right? Because the two most important cards in your decks are always going to be your raid cards and then like whatever support they kind of give you. Being a green deck, this deck is going to be ramping, and ramp decks just meaning that you're going to run a lot more double energy generator cards than you would in most other decks. And in this one, you can see here we are running 4, 8, 10, 12 different double energy generators, and we also have a cool site that lets us generate double energy. So getting to Kirito 7 energy shouldn't be too crazy, and this art for this card is really cool. I love the art for this Kirito here. Let me zoom it in. There we go for you guys to see. It is him from the GGO having the gun and his lightsaber, cool looking sword. Really cool. He's going to be 7 energy, 1 action point to play, and he will generate 1 energy, which shouldn't come up very often. He will raid you on top of your Kiritos. He always has impact as long as you're raided on top of Kirito, since it's underneath the raid text. And it says when another character on your field wins a battle, this character gains damage 2 until the end of the turn, which is really strong. The shenanigans that you're going to want to do here is give her the Sinon your boost abilities and let her swing in first with snipe and other damage things that you're going to do in the deck, and then that'll make this Kirito be able to have damage 2 and then also impact, so you're going to be able to have a lot of ways to put pressure on your opponent. So it's going to have the damage 2 if another character wins a battle, and it's going to have impact, so a lot of pressure on your opponent. During opponent's turn, however, your opponent cannot choose this character with an ability on an event card unless they place 1 card from their hand into their sideline as an additional cost. Now, we've seen this kind of protection before on Gojo from the JJK yellow part of that set, and it is really cool to see a new card in green get this kind of effect, which kind of feels like power creep. If you know me at all, you know that Kirito is one of my favorite characters, and it seems like this Kirito is just literally a better version of the Kurapika because he is 5000 BP, and he has a pseudo protection effect on him. He also has activate main once per turn. Choose 1 other character on your field. It gains 1000 BP until the end of the turn. So you get to boost your Sinons to let her be able to go in over your opponent. And you can see that this deck just has a lot going for it just off of this raid Kirito alone. It's really strong. It is a raid trigger in life, and he has 5000 BP. This is the game finisher of your deck, but it is a combo. I put it as a ramp combo deck because it does take having Kirito and a Sinon on the board at the same time to really get full value. So we've gone over the Kirito. So what does Sinon do? This is a really cool art for her, really cute. I love her sniper aspect, and just her relationship with Kirito in the show is, really cool. She's going to be 6 energy and 1 action point for you to play. She does generate 1 energy herself, and it is 4000 BP. And I know looking at that on, you know, base stats alone, a 6 energy only giving you 4,000 BP doesn't seem that amazing, but you have ways to boost this signing up to really make her feel like a 6 energy card on the board and not just like what you would expect these stats from a 4,000 BP character, right? Like you would think it'd just be 4 energy, 1 action point. But she is going to cost you 6, and your lower characters in this deck do give you some value with their high stat numbers also. Raid on top of Sinon, and then when this character attacks and wins a battle, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place any number of them on the top of your deck in any order, then place any remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So you could just choose to look at the top 2, put them whichever way you see, and then choose up to 1 character on your field. It gains 1,000 BP until the end of the turn. So you do have to choose up to 1 other character. So what you're going to do her is you play her and she will boost the Kirito up. And then hopefully you'll be able to get her other effect here. When played, this character gains Snipe until the end of the turn. So she's going to be able to kill something in battle because you get to use Snipe, making it where her swing on this turn is going to, you know, do some damage to your opponent. If they do have a big body out that's 5, 6, even 10 that we've seen in One Punch Man, you don't have to worry about that as much because Snipe lets you pick where you get to go and they cannot block it. So you're going to guarantee that this Sinon is going to get a swing in. She's going to have Snipe. She's going to boost this Kirito by 1,000, putting him up to 6,000. And then this Kirito is going to let you get the damage too, because she is going to snipe over something, making this Kirito an impact 1, damage 2, and then also going to, you know, be 6,000 BP. Now, granted, in most situations you want to have raided onto the Kirito first, but either way, this deck is going to be very versatile in the way that you play these 2 characters, and they are your main means of winning the game, and you really want to be able to combo both of them out. You're going to see that you're going to want to set up your energy really consistently and then have your big plays where you kind of save some of your final triggers so you can have humongous plays closing out games with the Sinon and the Kirito, hopefully being able to get in 3 damage. Before I touch up on any of the other characters, this deck I do want to touch up on some of the events that you're going to play in the deck. Now we are running 4 of our final triggers here, which I do think that you have to run because that is how every deck needs to play, with 4 final triggers, just getting your APs back. And then 4 of your special triggers, and this deck has a very interesting special trigger here, being Ultimate Ratio Hectate 2. This is her move that she uses in that show on one of the key battles. I won't spoil it, but it does cost you 4 energy, 1 action point to use. It is a special trigger in life, letting you just sideline any character. But it is very interesting because, like I said, this is like playing a lot like Kurapika, right? Because choose 1 character on your field, it gains 2,500 BP, and when this character attacks and wins a battle, draw a card. Until the end of the turn, if the chosen character is Sinon, it also gains Snipe. So this card lets you give any of your Sinon Snipe, and then that helps you proc that Kirito's effect, being able to give him the damage too. So you're going to go in with your Sinons first with Snipe very often, and then Kirito will be there to clean up the game for you if any means. And then this is really awesome, boosting her by 2,500, and you get to draw a card and it gains Snipe. Really strong. We've seen this card essentially in Kurapika as well, right? Just taking it, giving it a little bit different of an overhaul, but really strong. This is going to be one of your key cards to have in your hand if you don't have the 6-drop Sinon, who gives you Snipe. This option card gives you Snipe, so that way you're able to proc your Kirito's effect. And then this deck has a lot of draw power, or a decent amount of draw power in it, with this letting you draw power when you snipe over something, right? So you're going to be able to refuel your hand. Another second most important one that you're going to want to run is going to be this Photon Sword. And we are going to run this one. I think I have it at a 3 of. Yeah, so 4 on other cards I mentioned before. And then this Photon Sword is going to be a 3 cost. Really cool in the show how he chose to pick this up in the game, even though most people in the GGO don't use swords, right? Only going to cost you 2 energy, 1 action point. It is an active trigger, which is why we don't mind running this event at a 3 because it's going to be useful in life. Maybe you would want it to be an add trigger so you can add it to your hand, but you can't complain about more active triggers in a deck. Choose 1 character on your front line. It gains 2,000 BP until the end of the turn. If Kirito is on your field, the chosen character also gains impact. So you can see where all of this is comboing up to have both of them on the field at one time, which is really, really cool. You can give that character 2000 BP, and if the Kirito is on your field, it gains impact, right? So you're going to have a Kirito out, go into this sign-in. She's going to have Snipe. You can give her 2000 BP, and then also have her give the impact +1, which is really, really strong. This is going to be a really cool combo, but then once you get into your play combo, very aggro, control your opponent's board kind of deck while getting in your impact damage, and these are all really interesting combo plays that you could do. One card to note that I am running another sight in this deck. It's going to beat Buggy, which is the motorcycle they get on in the show. 3 energy, 1 action point. Only running this one out of 2 of because it is going to generate you 1 energy on the board while it's out. It is a get trigger, which is perfect because you just want to see it. And out of 2 of, I think that you'll be able to see it. And it says activate main, place 1 card from your hand into the sideline, and then once per turn, this site gains 2 more energy generation till the end of the turn. So I did say the number of the 2 energies, you know, we're at a 12 count, but with this card we have a triple energy generator, and that really puts us above where we want to be, not you know, missing out on our energy. A very key card as well. We do have only 2 of this 4-drop Kirito. Now, while this Kirito is really, really good, because it says it's 4 energy, 1 action point, 4000 BP, and it generates you 1 energy, and it has a good effect that says when attacking, if this character has 5,000 or more BP, draw a card. The only issue with this card is that you're really not wanting to give the Kirito the boost in this deck. You want to give it to your sign-ins, so boosting him up by 1,000 isn't as efficient as going into our sign-in. I really think that this guy kind of takes the shine away from sign-in a little bit, but it is an option there that if you want to give him the impact off of the boost earlier, you can also do that, and then let him get that when attacking the 5000 BP to draw a card. You can boost him, and there are other ways to boost the cards in this deck that you'll see further on, so it is always an option to get him to 5000. Just think that this card not having a trigger is an issue, and so only running it at a 2 of, and it shouldn't be a problem because we run plenty of other Kiritos. By plenty, I just mean 8, because we run 4 of this 3 energy, 1 action point Kirito, 3000 BP, and double energy generator. And just off of this alone, this Kirito already offers a lot more than the other Kirito, because it is also an active trigger in life, and it's a searcher. This card is absolutely cracked, doing everything that you want. When played, look at top 4 cards of your deck, reveal it to 1 GGO affinity card other than Kirito among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you added a card to your hand, place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. So search the top 4, grab a GGO other than Kirito, trash something. So it's a good search card. Regardless, it is going to be your double energy generator that you can keep on the back line. That way you can then raid your Kiritos on top of it. Going to our double energy generation sign-in, she is a 3 energy, 1 action point, so not bad. This is your color trigger in the deck, which is awesome. Green does have a good color trigger, letting you play a 2 or less energy, 1 AP cost card set to active onto your field when you hit it in life. She is 3000 BP, gives you double energy, and it says if this character has 4000 more BP, it gains impact. So you see why you want to give the boost to her. This is really, really strong, giving her the boost off of the effects that you can do in the deck, and then giving her impact. We have so many ways to get impact in this deck that are really, really consistent, boosting up our characters. We are going to run another double energy generator in only 2 of this card. This is Spiegel, 3 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP, so not bad stat lines, but you're mainly running it for the double energy generator. And then this is also a cool card because it's one of those color counters, right? If there is a yellow or blue card on your opponent's field, reduce this card energy required by 1 while in your hand, so you can play it for 2 if you're playing against any of the other colors. Really, really good. I think just 2 of this guy is fine because we do run a lot of double energy generators, and we want to run a big package of our sign-ins. So we are running 3 of this 2-drop, 1 energy action point sign-in, who is also 3000 BP, so you can see we have some good bodies in the deck that we can keep ourselves alive and also provide a little aggression before we do get to our big bodies later on. She does have steps, so you don't mind playing her earlier to put pressure on your opponent, and then moving her back to energy if you need to. And then when played, look at the top card of your deck, place it on the top or bottom of your deck. So good cycle for the deck. Being able to see your combo pieces that you want to. This is the one that I may be a little contested on, that maybe should be a 4, but she is not a trigger, and I don't like to include a lot of cards in decks that aren't triggers. And you can see you're really maxing out on all the other cards that have triggers in the deck, close to it anyways, and try not to put as many that don't, so that way your cards are always impactful. Going to our only 1 action point cost card in the deck, because we are running a lot of 0 drops in this deck, is going to be Yamikaze. I liked his art a lot. He's really, really cool art in the show. 1 energy, 1 action point, 1500 BP double energy generator. And this is one of your double energy generator bounce cards. When played, return one other character on your field with 1 or less required energy to your hand. If you cannot, return this character to your hand. So just a good way to bounce a 1 cost back to your hand and get the double energy on the board. Just a 2 of this card. Like I said, this card and the Sinon maybe bump her down and put him up more. It really just depends on how you feel like after we get to test a little bit what our energy ends up being. For the 0 energy, 1 action point Kirito, 2000 BP, 1 energy generated, and it is a draw trigger. I do wish that this one was a get trigger, but it is what it is. Still, just having a trigger in general is awesome that it's a draw trigger, but we would prefer the get trigger so we don't have to miss on our Kiritos as much. And that being the aspect of it, you don't get to run as many Kiritos, just being 8, 9, 10, and we are going to run 8, 9, 10, 11 Sinon. So plenty of targets for our raid targets because we are running 4 of the 0 energy, 1 action point Sinon, 1500 BP. She is a get trigger, which is awesome, and 1 energy generator. And we are evening it out with 4 more 0 drops, and these are really cool, nifty cards for the deck. We got ZZD, who is activate main switch to resting once per turn. This card gains double extra energy generation till the end of the turn. At the end of the main phase, sideline this character. Really awesome, 1000 BP, no trigger. But these cards are really, really good because they let you cheat into the double energy. So if you're ever in a tough spot and you need it to make double energy for 1 turn, it can do that for you. I think that this is, they learned their lesson in Code Geass by giving decks the double energy generators like this that you can then raid on top of. So I think it's a good call by them to not make this the Sinon or Kirito, because I do think that that is one of the cards that make Code Geass so consistent and like oppressive to your opponent, is that their card is also a raid target for them. And I do not think that they should allow decks to do that. So glad to see that this is not that, because it would make this deck a million times more consistent on getting to that 7 energy and also being able to raid to not lose the card. But going on to the last card in the deck is going to be Musketeer X. Very awesome design on her. Loved her in the show. Really, really cool. 0 energy, 1 action point, 500 BP, which is really, really low, right? But you don't care about that. 1 energy generation. And then she says, when played, choose up to 1 character on your field. It gains 1000 BP till the end of the turn, and she is also an active trigger. So we got a ton of active triggers. You play her out, you get to boost these characters, you get to boost this Sinon if you need to. The one that says if you boost her up and get her to 4, now you have an impact Sinon on the board. Or if you boost this Kirito, you have the 5000 on the board. So maybe after testing the deck a little bit, we can maybe find some more space to put her up to a 3 of, and maybe try to get rid of the ZZDs. But I do think that she is really good, and you do want to have as much energy consistency in a deck as possible. That is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys are really, really excited to see in this set. I look forward to building this deck and also the blue deck. There is also there's 2 blue decks that you can really build and 2 green decks, and then also, you know, yellow is kind of one that you can only build just like 1 solid deck out of. So I do think there's going to be 5 solid decks in the set. This is the first deck profile I'm going to do for y'all. So this is going to be Kirito and Sinon deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Leave some comments below, like the video, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The channel is growing. I'm having so much fun doing this channel and being a part of the community. Look out for the times when I try to do some. I'm going to try to get into doing more webcam locals just to become a bigger part of the community for all you guys. But guys and gals, please leave the video a like I said. I'm super excited for this set, and I'm really excited to build this deck because I like her a lot. She was really, really cool in the show. But let me know what you guys think down below. Peace.